Barb here with barbstamps.com from Sheridan, Wyoming, and it's, of course, live free stamping class. So it's got to be Thursday night at 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it very much. I've been doing a little chatting in the comments with some of you, so thank you very much for chatting with me. Just going to turn my iPad off here so we only have to hear me once, because that's plenty. Yeah, you can tell I got my hair colored and it's a little bit blonder than I maybe would have anticipated it being. So, but it is what it is. It'll grow out and it'll fade and all that good stuff. But I feel like I'm a little bit pale because it's so blonde. But it's summertime, so you have to like jazz it up a little bit, I suppose. So hello, all of you girls that are joining me. Thank you so much. We've got Wendy, Lisa. Oh gosh, tons of you. Sandra, Judy, Sonia, Shella, Dolly. Hello, everybody. So as you guys know, my darling baby son, he'll be graduating on Sunday. So that's very exciting. And I have some guests in my home. My brother and his wife got here last night, so that's very exciting. And of course, my daughter and my husband and myself. And then I believe we've got a few more people coming in this weekend to actually watch him. We just got the sad news that graduation has been moved inside because it's going to rain on Sunday, of course. So that means that each kid is limited to the number of people that can attend the ceremony. So that's kind of a bummer. It sounds like each kid's going to get 7 tickets to hand out, which is better than the 5 that we were anticipating. So yeah, it's still not enough, but what are you going to do? So yeah. So I hope you guys have had a great week. We have had a good week. His last day of school was Wednesday, which was yesterday. Gosh, the time is just flying by. It's crazy. So yeah, his last day of school was yesterday. He's very excited to be done, but then of course he's going to start working next week. So he's got that going for him. And next week, as some of you guys may know, Kelly, Dina, and I are going to St. George, Utah for a little get together, and we're very excited to hang out together again. So that should be fun. So I'm sure that you will see some shenanigans from us throughout that week. So obviously, I'm not going to be live next Thursday because I'll be in St. George and I'll be doing other things. But I'll be back the week after that. So yeah, we'll see you guys then. What else? Gosh, I wish I had some funny stories to tell about him. I don't think he's done anything since the last silly thing that he did, which I don't even remember what that was. So who knows? So as you guys may have heard, Stampin' Up! Has a fantastic joining special for the month of May. So we only have a few days left to take advantage of that. Yeah, Judy says the 3 amigos right again. So true. Yeah, we're pretty excited. We're going to get there on Tuesday. So just a few short days and I'll be hanging with my besties. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Now I forgot what I was saying. Gosh, it's terrible getting old. Who knows? It's hard to say. But anyways, so I have some cute projects. One of the projects, I literally just came down here like 20 minutes ago. And I thought to myself, because I had 2 projects planned. And, I've just been kind of busy. I've had a lot of business things to take care of. And of course, my daughter's been here helping me a little bit. But May has just been a crazy month. There's just a lot going on with Stampin' Up! This month. And of course, my family and my kid graduating and all that stuff. So she's been helping me. And now, where was I even going with that? I swear, there are just a billion things flying around in my brain, and I cannot even hardly focus. Oh, my projects. I came down here about 20 minutes ago to like put a little makeup on so I didn't look so, pale. And I thought, ooh, something came to my brain. So we'll see what happens with it. You know how it is, you guys. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So there you go. All right, let's see. Oh, Judy says, just wait till you're in your 70s. Oh my gosh, Judy. I feel like I'm getting pretty close. I mean, I guess I'm not. I'm only going to be 56. But, sometimes you feel a little older than you are. It's sometimes, especially when I can't remember things. 90 degrees in Utah. I know, Julie. I saw that. And I'm thinking, oh my good Lord. I don't know if I'm ready for 90-degree weather. I mean, it's not been that nice here. Excuse me. It's not been that nice here in Sheridan. And I was looking at the weather forecast for St. George and I'm thinking, oh, good Lord, 90. But, it's a dry heat, as they say. So hopefully I won't be too, sweaty. And hopefully my hair doesn't like, frizz up, which it shouldn't because, it's just dry in the desert rather than if we were going to Florida and we'd have the humidity and then my hair would be crazy. Well, it's already kind of crazy because, after I had COVID, I lost a ton of hair and now it's starting to come back and it's like super short and it's annoying. My hairdresser said that's going to drive you nuts. She wasn't wrong. It is driving me nuts, but whatever. So yeah, so looking forward to sweating to death down in St. George, Utah. And of course, I don't even know if I have my summer clothes aren't even unpacked. They're just, I don't even know if they're going to fit me, honestly. So I've got to take some time and figure that out too. So many things. Anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera because my brother is just right out there get this, he's wrapping Christmas presents. Yeah, he brought a bunch of stuff with him because they drove here from Tucson. And so he brought a bunch of things. They're not, I wouldn't imagine they're really fantastic gifts. I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't know. But he does like to buy some fun little things and then we open them before Christmas. And so that's kind of fun. So he's out there wrapping Christmas presents right now. So that's fun. Okay. So I'm going to flip the camera and then we will look at some stuff and then we'll stamp some stuff and then we'll, do what we normally do. So hold on. All right, we're getting this flipped. Something just popped up and said something to me, so I hope it didn't screw up my stream because you know how technology is sometimes super annoying and I don't want my stream to get screwed up because I've had enough of that. Cheryl said she could see somebody was back there. I didn't know if you guys would be able to see him or not back there. Yeah, so he's back there hanging out, wrapping some Christmas gifts. All right, let me get my glasses on. You guys, look who's here. It's Handy Mandy. She decided to pop in for just a quick second because I got one card in the mail from Rhea. And look at this beautiful card Rhea sent me. Isn't that nice? It's got some of that fantastic pansy paper, these cute little die cuts, and of course some of that gold twine. I just thought it was really nice. So thank you, Rhea. I appreciate that very much. Okay. Oh, you guys, this is a little sneak peek for you. Last week, this is one of the cards that I made on the live. This is one of the cards that's in my Sweet Songbirds class for the month of May. And I thought I would quickly show you the rest of them just because, sometimes I like to do that. Except sometimes Mandy's annoying, so we got to take her off. So here's another one. This is a cute little slide out pocket card. And then this is just a little card that opens up so you can put your little message in there, or you could put a gift card in there. So that's kind of cool. Here is another one, this super sweet little chick. And then this is the other one. So there's 4 cards. You make 2 of each. And you get the envelopes and everything with them. So, oh my gosh, Judy, thank you so much. She said she loves my hair. It's a little bit light. I'm still kind of freaking out about how light it is, but I'll get used to it. Okay, so these are the other 2 cards I made for you guys last week. This one is my fave. And in case you didn't know, my cup of tea class is ready to go. I shouldn't say it's ready to go. It will be ready to go. I'm going to cut all the papers tomorrow and pack them up and mail them out. So if you ordered a kit, it'll be coming. If you didn't, you still can. There's a link in the description of this video. And then we made this one using that fun scent, or that fun kind of circly sentiment from the He's the Man, I think that's what it's called, stamp set. And we kind of made it girly rather than, guy-ish. So that was kind of fun. All right. And as I mentioned, Stampin' Up! Is offering you an in-color bundle if you join Stampin' Up! During the month of May. And of course, if you guys aren't already demonstrators and you're buying Stampin' Up! Product, you should be a demonstrator. There's just no question about it. The kit costs you $99. You get $125 worth of product plus this $66 bundle. And then you get 20% off everything you buy as long as you're a demonstrator. So if you're not a demonstrator, you should be. So get with me if you have any questions about that. There is a link in the description of this video. If you want to just join, you can go ahead and do that. So here is my little sheet for my Sweet Songbirds class. We use, of course, the Sweet Songbirds bundle, which is the most adorable thing. We've got some Daffodil Delight Ruched ribbon, some Pool Party ribbon, the glossy dots, the Design a Daydream? Every time I say that, it sounds wrong. It probably is. I can't keep track of every name of every new product. There's just too many. So I think it's the Design a Daydream host paper, some Brights Designer Series paper, and some flower trinkets, which are super cute. Then, of course, the cup of tea online class, which will be ready. I'll be shipping the things out probably Saturday. So you can get the kits, you can get the whole shebang, which is the DSP, the bundle, the cards and envelopes, the fun little flowers. And then there's some petal pink ribbon that we threw in there also. And the class makes 6 cards, and then we have a boxed set of 5, which is super cute. So check that out in the description. Adhesive kits, I always have these for sale if you guys are interested in those. They come in these super cute rainbow pouches. You get all the goodies that you see here, plus some black dimensionals also. And of course, we can't stop without talking about Stamp Happy Academy, because a ton of you guys are members of Stamp Happy Academy. And it's just a great, fun place to be. Dina Kelly and I love doing Stamp Happy Academy. We love creating the projects for the lives. We love creating our classes that you get every month. So, and a lot of you girls that are on here always say it's a gift you give yourself, which is not untrue. That is true. So yeah, if you're interested in the Stamp Happy Academy, here's all the information. You can get it at stamphappyacademy.ding.com. Or if you have any questions about it, I'm sure the gals that are on tonight would be happy to answer your questions. And I'm happy to answer them too. If I see your question, I'm happy to answer it too. All right. And finally, I have a couple of classes from last month. I still have some kits for, if you're interested, the Honeybee Home and then the Dahlia Days, which also is all fun folds. So there you go. So that's all the blah, blah, blah that we have going on. Let me get those out of the way. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in the stuff for our first project. So I thought I would make another sweet Songbirds card because they're just so cute and I can't stop using them. So there you go. Oh, Jan just said SHA is great. So did Trish. A lot of you girls are members of Stamp Happy Academy and it is amazing. Ooh, we have somebody who finally got to catch me live. Well, hello, Joanne. Welcome. All right. I also do want to throw out there, if you guys aren't, you should subscribe to my channel. There's a little link, a little button right down here that should say subscribe. So click on that and then click that notification bell and that will let you know when I'm going live and when I upload new videos. All right, so we're using the bundle. We are also going to use some cardstock pieces. Oh, can you guys hear that? That's fantastic. Someone's upstairs using the toilet and they flushed. They should know better than that. It's Thursday night. Anywho. We're going to start with a base of crumb cake. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. We have a 4 by 5.25 inch layer of white for the inside. And of course, I just cut these pieces this morning and now I can't remember how big they are. So this is 3 1/4 by 4.5. So then this is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. Yes, that is the math. Or you know what? Actually, I think it might be quarters. So this is actually 3.5 by 4 3/4. I thought I went the 1/8, but then I decided no, I wanted a little bit more of the Pacific point to show. So there you go. Ooh, Lisa's telling you guys all about Stamp Happy Academy. She said that's a great and a win-win and her way of loving the best talented girls out there and thanking them for these free classes. Oh my gosh, Lisa, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. You guys are all sweet. Thank you guys so much for watching and participating and hanging out with us. And you just make it so much fun. Then we also have some scraps. I have a scrap of crumb cake and a scrap of white that we'll be doing a little bit of stamping on. So let me bring in some of these stamps. When I was getting the stamps ready, this set has a lot of stamps and this card is going to use a lot of stamps. I was just chuckling to myself when I was pulling them all out of the package. I was like, wow, this is a lot of stamps. Okay, I think that's all of them. Annette says, good morning. Annette, you must be in Australia. Is that correct? So we've got Annette watching us from Australia. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to take my scrap of crumb cake and I'm going to take the little nest and I am just going to ink up the nest and just stamp it easy peasy. Then on my scrap of white, I'm going to stamp my little sweet bird in Tahitian Tide. I have been using a lot of Tahitian Tide. Whoops, this is a very dirty stamp. Hold on, I'm going to clean it off because it's got fuzz all over it. I have been using Tahitian Tide a lot because I am making a swap to take to St. George, and we have to make 80 of them. And it's been a long time since I have made 80 of anything. So, because we used to go to Founder Circle events in September. Some of you guys that have been around for a while may remember those events for the top demonstrators in the company. And then we'd make like 125. But gosh, I haven't done that for years. So I was making a card using Tahitian Tide. And yeah, okay, hold on. I got to concentrate for a second. Okay, so there's my sweet little bird. What else do I need out of the white? I think that's it, because I think I'm just going to use him. I've got a plan for his wing that doesn't include stamping, so we'll just line this up as best we can. Big fan of punches, which I'm sure we all are. I know I'm going to cut this nest, but I'm not going to cut it. It's going to be a little bit shorter than it actually stamps. So I'm just going to go ahead and just cut in there and cut off some of that so it's a little shorter. And we'll do this. So, I mean, you can make it as tall or as short as you want. It would be nice if there was a punch or something for this, but, you know, we'll get over it. It's not that hard to cut it out, so that's fine. Okay, so for the wing, I thought, why not use some fantastic glimmer paper? You guys have probably been seeing this all over because it's so amazing. I'm just going to crop a wing here out of a little bit of this glimmer paper. Oops, get in there. There we go. So now we have the wing. And what else do we need? I'm looking at my sample here to make sure I'm getting everything, because obviously my brain is not here today. It's with graduation stuff. All right. So I also need my main layer of white. There we go. And I'm going to stamp a few things in soft suede. Here's my soft suede. Hello, Kim and Jan. I think Jan was already on here. I may have already said hello to you, Jan. Sorry, but hello again. So my sentiment says you've got something to celebrate. So I'm going to do this up in the corner here. Gently in the soft suede. And then I have the tree branch. So get that inked up. Make sure it looks good. And then I'm going to kind of stamp it. Oops, I need a scratch paper. Oh, here's a piece. Because I'm going to end up stamping off the edge of the paper, and I don't want to stamp on my foam mat if I can help it. Wow, that was dark. Well, maybe it'll lighten up as it sits there. All right. Then I've got some Granny Apple Green, and I just re-inked this. So I'm going to take the back side of a knife here and kind of press some of that ink into the pad because it's really inky. You know how you re-ink them and then it takes a few days for that ink to kind of settle into the pad. So when I go to use it, I do like to do that just so it's not quite so inky. All right, so then I'm going to bring this over the top of the branches like so. So we have our cute little leaves there. And then there's also this adorable little flower that's in the set. And it would be amazing if it had a punch with it, but it doesn't, so we just have to cry. And I'm just going to add a few little flowers here on this card, just because they are so adorable. There. All right. What else do we need to do? We need to bring our nest in and figure out the nest is going to go about like this. And then our little birdie friend is going to go behind the nest. So I think what I might do is glue him to the nest. That sounds like a good idea. So let me bring in some liquid glue here. Got a big glue booger on there. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the nest here. And we're going to put our little friend in the nest. I think about like that. And so you can see I didn't color in his breast. I just left it. Or her breast, who knows. I'm going to use a glue dot. I find that using a glue dot on the wing is like a little bit of a, it pops it up just a little bit, but not too much. So it's not like a dimensional, which I feel like is a little bit too much for that. But of course, you know, who am I to say? But I just liked using the glue dot because it gives it a little bit of lift, but not too much. So now we'll go ahead and do the whole bird. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. And we'll add a couple of big dimensionals to the bird there, and then we'll get a baby dimensional, a mini, and put it on its tail. You know what? I probably ought to add something down here at the bottom. So since we have the minis right here, we'll just do that. All right, so we'll set him, cut that off. Set him on his branch. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Oh no, you know what I didn't do? I didn't stamp his eyes. Do you think I can get his eyes on there without making a mess? You guys know me. I'm going to try my best. Oh my. How could I have forgotten to stamp his eyes? Whew, look at that. That's a professional for you. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay. Yeah, I know you guys are all like, where's the eyes? Yeah, I know. I forgot. But we saved it. Okay. So I've got a Daffodil Delight regular marker here. And I'm just going to kind of just barely color in his beak. Just a tiny little bit. So we have a little bit of color there. Oh, he's so cute. I also have something. Where is my twine? Did I even? No, I didn't even put it in here. Oh, wait. Yes, I did. Well, I thought I did. Does anybody see my package of twine? Oh, never mind. I just found it. I know. This bird is adorable. You guys were all holding your breath to see if I could get those eyes on there. Yeah, believe me, Kim, so was I. It's like, gosh, if I can't do that. I mean, not that it would have been a bad thing to fix. I mean, I could have just cut him off there and made a new one. But, you know, you never want to do that. Just because, I don't know, you've already done it once. Who wants to do it again? All right, so I am going to tie a little bow with this twine here. This is the In Color Baker's twine. And I have to say, I'm super excited about this stuff. You know, sometimes you go, oh, Baker's twine, big deal. But I just love it when they bring out a bunch of coordinating products with our in colors. And this year, I think they killed it with the glimmer paper and this twine. And of course, the matte dots, just, oh, you know, the tea boutique cards. It's like everything matches. And that is probably my favorite thing about Stampin' Up is that they really, really go hard on coordination. All right, I'm going to put this bow right there. I need a glue dot. And I've mentioned this before, this particular roll of glue dots, these glue dots are ginormous. So I'm going to kind of roll it into a little log. And I'm just going to set it right here at the edge of the nest. And then I can just smash my bow right onto it. There we go. So cute. Oh, Cynthia, you know you need this. And if you can get it from me with the link in the description of this video. Well, actually, you can't buy it through the link, but you can register for it. So you could get the bundle and the kit. Unless, of course, you're a demonstrator, you would order it from yourself. Not the kit, but the bundle. Okay, so then I also thought, of course, here's more coordinating stuff. These adorable little dots. And I kind of thought maybe the Tahitian tied dots would look really cute in the flower spots. Where's my take your pick tool? Perhaps it's in a different bucket. Or perhaps it's not, and I don't know where it is. Oh, it's just been kind of chaos down here, honestly. I'm not going to lie. All these things that I've got to get done before I leave, plus just trying to do graduation, because we're really having 2 graduation parties. We're having one here at our house for you know, our family members that are coming into town. Plus, we have some elderly neighbors that live in the neighborhood that my son has befriended by doing, you know, little lawn mowing things, and he'll shovel for them. And, you know, if they need sticks picked up out of their yard, he's just been a real kind of help to a lot of our elderly neighbors over the years. And so a lot of them wanted to come, you know, so they won't have to travel very far because his party is kind of out of town. His other party where his friends are going to be. So anyway, so yeah, I get to plan or help plan 2 parties. So that's a lot. All right. So we have our little bird done. We have his adorable little flowers. He's so cute. And I need some adhesive. I'm going to use a seal for this. Oops, I don't need this mat anymore. So I'm just going to do some adhesive here. Whoops, I'm going a little fast and I'm screwing up my seal. All right, we got her saved. Okay, so I'm going to center this as best I can. See what happens. There we go. And here's my card base. So let me get that folded, and we'll go ahead and burnish that with the old bone folder. And this What am I doing for the food part? Good question, Jean. We're kind of just going to have some like finger food type things. My daughter wants to make a charcuterie tray with some meat and some cheese and some nuts. We're going to have kind of a cookie tray. Obviously, I'm feeling kind of lame. I didn't make the cookies. I bought them, but you know what? I couldn't make it happen. So we bought some cookies. We're going to make kind of a cookie charcuterie tray. We might have a fruit tray. I haven't thought that far. You know, I have like 3 days. So what's the rush, right? I know you're thinking, what are you talking about, Barb? You need to have that done. Kim wants to know. So I've got crumb cake and Pacific Point and then white for all this stuff. I'm really loving this combination of Tahitian Tide and Pacific Point. Now I have to say, honestly, Pacific Point is not a color that I used often. It just, I don't know, it just wasn't a color that I used very often. But now that we have Tahitian Tide, it goes together really well. And of course, it's bird. I mean, this cute little blue bird. I mean, adorable. How can you not use it and put those together, honestly? All right. I need to find something for the inside of this card. What am I going to do? This always happens. What about if we took that little flower? Where is it? Right here. No, that's the music notes. Why do I have that? Who knows? Ooh, or maybe we'll just have some music notes. You've got something to celebrate. Oh, here's what I was thinking. Okay, like this was earlier today, you know, so this was like 8 hours ago that I had kind of thought about this. So I've kind of forgotten what I was doing, but it's coming back to me. All right, so we have this little sentiment here. It says, it's your special day. We'll try to get this in the middle. I have a pretty good idea that it's not going to happen, but we're going to try. Oh, well, that might have happened. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I might put some music notes maybe around this sentiment. And maybe we'll just call that good. That, I think that's going to do it. That's it. So this is a birthday card. All right, we'll do that, and we'll do that. And we'll stick this in the middle. And there it is. So stinking cute. And look at these little dots. I just love them. They're so cute. They make the perfect flower middles for this tiny little flower. All right, I will let you take that all in. And while I clean off a few of these things so that I don't make a mess when I put them back in my bucket. I think I hear my daughter upstairs. She's making dinner for us tonight, which is really awesome of her. Otherwise, we'd have to go out because, you know, Barb doesn't cook food on Face or YouTube Live nights because it just doesn't happen. All right, I think that's most everything that we can put back in this bucket here. And my glimmer paper. Oh my gosh, let me just pull this out because you guys really need to see it in all of its glory. It's beautiful. Look at that. And the ombre effect that you get with this. Yeah. So pretty. This green, this parakeet party, oh man, it's gorgeous. And then, of course, the Tahitian Tide is amazing. And, oh, I guess that wasn't orchid. That was Starry Sky. Sorry, lost my head. They're very similar, and they look really good together, too, the orchid and the Starry Sky. So there you go. That is our amazing glimmer paper. And what's also nice about this glimmer paper is the glimmer, I guess it's probably glitter, doesn't flake off like a lot of glimmer or glitter papers out there that do. Yeah, this stuff doesn't flake off, which is awesome. Okay, let's push all this stuff off to the side. We'll put the card over there and get something else here. Okay, and so I'm just going to throw this shameless plug out there because I have been contacted by some of you guys who are demonstrators that you like to help support us, but obviously you're not going to order from us, and we totally get that. But if you would like to support, there's a little $sign kind of down in the chat box if you're watching it live, and you can send a tip, I guess, for lack of a better word, to me if you would like. And then if you're watching the replay after the fact, underneath the video is a little thanks button, and you can do the same thing. So there you go. All right, we are now going to do a tea boutique card. And this paper is super cute. I don't believe that any of the images can be cropped out with the dies. Yeah, I think everything is not, you're not able to do that. A lot of our papers, obviously you guys know that you can do that, but this one you can't. So I am going to make it's kind of a fun fold card. It's probably one you've seen a million times, but it's really cute. And it's so easy to make. It looks difficult, but it's not. And so, yeah. Okay, so we have some Orchid Opulence. We have some Starry Sky. We have a piece of the Designer Series paper. This is a 3x4. And then we have a couple of teacups that I cut out of Orchid. So I have the solid and the detailed. And I've showed you guys this little trick before, but I'm going to show you again because, like, you know, not everybody watches every one of my videos. I mean, you should, but I know you don't. And you don't have time. So what I like to do sometimes when I have pieces that go together, like these obviously can layer on top of each other, but sometimes you don't want to use a different color of cardstock, but you can get a different shade of cardstock simply by coloring the detailed piece with the Stampin' Blend marker. So all you have to do is just take your Stampin' Blend and just go around the detailed image. It doesn't take too much time, and it really packs a wow. And so it's like you have the same color of cardstock, just a little bit different shade. So it's a super easy way to, you know, I guess increase your cardstock colors by just coloring them with the coordinating blend. And I've already done this on one piece, so I'm not going to sit here and color the whole thing because, I don't know, to me that's boring. But anyways, here it is. If you color the whole thing, then you can see the difference. And you can see how this just, look at that, how that makes that piece just pop right off, but yet it totally coordinates because it's basically the same color, just a little bit darker shade. So that is a tip that I love sharing because I think it's amazing. And every time I do it, it wows me because it looks so cool. Then you can just add your piece to your card. I'm going to go ahead and use this little glue bottle that I get off Amazon. It's got a nice little metal tip. It shoots out just a teeny little bead of glue that you can see here. So I just add our multi-purpose liquid glue to the bottle. And then it's very simple to add glue to these kind of skinny detailed die cuts. And so if you are interested in this little tiny glue bottle, I do have it linked in the description of this video. Oh my gosh, Mary, you're so sweet. You did this to me last week too. So you can see that Mary just gave me a little tip there in that cute little character that she chose. So sweet. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that very much. And I always like seeing what little characters you guys pick because there's a lot of fun ones. They're cute. All right, so you can see that I'm just barely squeezing any glue out of here because I don't want a whole bunch. I don't want it to like squeeze out all over and make a giant mess, but I do need a little bit, you know. And then you just lay that right over the top of the cup. And check that out. How awesome is that? I love doing that, especially with this detailed overlay on this cup. I love doing that. Oh, I need to get my trimmer. Hang on. Okay. Because we are going to, whoops, and then you need to stick your pin back in the hole to keep your glue from clogging. There we go. Hello, Tiffany. Thanks for joining us. And Kelly, appreciate you guys being here. So I have the measurements written down on a piece of paper here. I'm going to cheat because I can't remember what they are. Okay, so this is a 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 piece of cardstock. This is Orchid Opulence. No, not Orchid Opulence. That was like a color from like 20 years ago. This is Orchid Oasis. And Orchid Opulence was a little bit more like Fresh Freesia-ish, but not exactly. Anyway, this is Orchid Oasis. Wow. How does a person remember all that stuff? I don't know. It gets harder when you get old, too. So we're going to score this. Let's see. I got my cheat sheet here at 4 1/2. And then 5 1/2. Oh, did Trish just say something? Oh, Cynthia says those fine tip glue bottles are a game changer. I know, they really are. When I found those, I was very excited about it. All right, so 4 1/2, 5 1/2. Okay, Lisa, let's see. Lisa says, how do we order so that you get credit for the non-Stampin' products you use on your shopping page? I'm not exactly sure what you're saying, Lisa, but I think I might know. So I'm an Amazon affiliate. I do make a tiny bit of commission when you guys click the links in my videos or on my blog and go to Amazon and buy some of the things that I recommended for you. It's basically enough to buy like a bag of candy. So, but it's just that there's a lot of things that Stampin' Up doesn't sell that I personally find useful. And I think they coordinate really well with a lot of our products. In particular, one of the ones that's my favorite thing is this stuff called Pixie Spray. This is what I spray on the back of my masks. And then it makes them tacky, but not like that they won't come off. So then you can place our masks on your papers and then sponge on them or use your blending brushes, whatever you want. And then the masks just peel right off. And then you can reuse it over and over and over, the mask. You can clean this stuff off. I don't, because I don't care if my mask is clean, because I'm just going to keep using it again. So, yes, all the links to my that are in Amazon are either in the description of this video, and not everything is here, but there's a link to my blog where I have listed like everything that I use off Amazon for stamping, and also just some personal silly things like this. This is another one of the hot things that you guys love, and I love it too. It's ridiculous. In fact, my brother gave this to me. It's a unicorn keychain, and look what it does. It makes this silly sound, and the horn glows, and I just think it's the funniest thing. And so I do have that linked below too. And I have to tell you guys that the most popular thing that you guys and anybody who does shop through my Amazon affiliate links, these are the two most popular items, this Pixie Spray and this unicorn keychain. Go figure that. So anyways, I think that's your question, Lisa. If it's not, please elaborate. Oh, she said yes. Okay, perfect. So yes, that's how you do it. If you click on any of the links in this video, that will take you to, I guess, not my really Amazon store, because I don't have a store, but I get credit for it, basically, if you shop through my links, like I said. And then basically it's enough to maybe buy a bag of candy every month or something. And I promise to eat that candy while I'm creating super cute projects for you guys. Okay, let me get back to what I'm doing, because now I got distracted. Okay, so 4.5 we're scoring, 5.5 I scored, and then 7 and then 8. Okay, 7 and 8. Then we also have this little piece here. This one is 3 by 4 3/4, and we're going to score this piece at 3.5 and 4.5. So there's 3.5 and then 4.5. Okay, I think we're done with the trimmer now. And so we're just going to kind of fold this and make it kind of a little bit of a box bottom out of this. Where's my bone folder? Oh, Shella, thank you so much. Shella just gave me a tip. I appreciate that very much, Shella. Thank you. And your little guy is hilarious. Oh, that's cute. It almost looks like he's wearing a little karate. What do they call that? A gi? A little karate gi? And I could be totally wrong. Oh my gosh. Laura just said it's 100 degrees in California. And you know, a lot of you guys probably are just like, oh, it's 100 degrees, no big deal. But to me, wow, that's flipping hot. Let's see. Mary says, do you have to thin the glue? No, Mary, I just squirt this glue that we sell in the catalog into the bottle. It just comes right out, no problems. Okay, so my design. This is a 3 by 4, and we're going to add this to. Where did I put the lid on that? Who knows? What was I thinking? Laura says she lives in the desert. Gosh, I guess. Wow. That to me is just insanity. I don't know if I could handle that. I mean, not that it doesn't get 100 here, because it absolutely does. But usually not for very long and not super often. Mostly like, you know, uh-oh. Oh my gosh. That is horrible. Yes, it is very blurry, Trish. Hold on. We have folded on all the score lines. And I'm going to put glue on this tab right here. Whoops. Sometimes I use my finger to smear it around because. All right. So now I am going to just lay this whole thing flat. Just like this. So this is like 5.5 inches long now. From here to here is 5.5, and this is 4 1/4. So it's a standard size card, and it will fold flat for mailing, which is awesome. Okay, so it says it's better. Oh, it actually looks pretty good on my iPad. Is it pretty clear for you guys? It looks pretty good to me. So thank you guys so much for your patience. I appreciate that. That is so stressful when that happens. Okay, so now we have this. So your card will actually stand up when your person gets it. It'll stand up. So then what I'm going to do here to reboot the router. Oh, you know what, Laura? They tell you that all the time. And it's just like, seriously? I know, but I can't do that now because my router's upstairs. And if I try to reboot the router, then we're going to lose the signal altogether. So after I'm done, I'm going to go up there and try that. All right, I just lost my cup that I glued. Oh, here it is. Okay. Camera is offline. What does that mean? Essie said camera is offline. Is that happening to anybody else? Please tell me no. Please tell me it's not happening to anybody else. Okay, well, we're just going to keep going here and hope that it's not happening to anyone else. I have my parakeet party. Oh, okay, good. Sherry says no. I know, it is a pain to reboot that, Laura. It's just silly. Like, why can't it just work? Okay, good. It might be you, Essie. There might be something with your computer or something. I don't know. Everyone else is saying that it's good. Okay, phew. All right. So I got my little foliage piece here, and I'm going to ink this up in the Parakeet Party. And then I've got a garden green marker here, and I'm just going to go over some of these leaves with this garden green marker. And we'll do this one, and then I think this fun one here. Okay. That one. I'm going to huff on this, and then we're going to stamp it at the bottom of this scrap here. Okay, good. Everyone is saying it looks good. And then look, so now we have multicolored foliage. And did you guys know how amazing garden green looks with Parakeet Party? Wow. That's another color that I don't use very often. But now with Parakeet Party, I think I'm going to be using it a lot more. All right, so then I already did that. I've die cut that. Obviously, we're done with that, so we're good. And I'm just going to put my cup on here, and then my little foliage piece is going to be on there. So I'm going to actually put this right back here, and we're just going to put the cup onto the foliage just like that. I just love this, a little cup. And I've seen a lot of people cut the handle off so it looks more like a little vase, I guess, but I'm not doing that right now. Okay, so then I also have two other colors of ink here. I have Fresh Freesia and Orchid. And I have that little flower, this little 5-deal flower. And there's a die for this too, so I would stamp it, clean it off, and stamp it in the orchid. And then I would die cut that, and then here's all the little flowers. So let me put these things away for the moment before, you know what, I stick my fingers in them, because that's what happens sometimes. And pretend like I just die cut those, and here they are in this little thing. And so I'm going to add them to, what the heck? Oh, here we go. I'm like, where did my cup go? All right. So I'm just going to kind of randomly put some dots of glue on this. And then we will just add some of these flowers kind of wherever we feel like. I wish I had my take your pick tool. That really bothers me. I was using it. Doing all these swaps that I was talking about. And I thought I stuck it in one of these buckets, and now I don't see it anywhere. Well, let's see if it's in this other one here. No, it's not. Okay, well, this is going to be a little more difficult than it would be if I had to take your pick tool, but we will make it happen. So we're just going to, oh yeah, that was fantastic. Flower side down right into the glue. Do that. Some of these little teeny tiny ones maybe we'll throw on. I just think they're so cute. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need another little blob right here because I want one of the darker ones. Ugh, Judy, I might, because both of my kids are here and my brother and his wife are here. I don't know if anybody's using any Wi-Fi anywhere else besides me. I guess what I need to do is make a ban. Tell these people, you can't use any Wi-Fi while I'm live, because clearly the internet can't handle it. Wow, the struggle is real when you don't have a take your pick tool. That just goes to show you how important that tool is. Okay, then we're going to attach it with some... So, I mean, there's really not a whole lot to this card. I realize it's taken us a long time to get it done, thanks to my silly internet. But... there's not a whole lot to it, honestly. It's just, you know, the cup and then the flowers. And then we probably will have to put some kind of dots or something. I do have a few things here that I can use. All right, so this, I didn't tell you what this measures. We're going to tell you here. This is a 2.5 by 3 and a what? 3 1/8, 2.5 by 3 1/8. So that means that this piece is 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. And so I'm just going to add some glue to the back of that and put it on my little layer of fresh freesia. So there we go. Oh, there we go again. Somebody doesn't know the rule of when Mom's live. All right, so we've already scored this piece. We're going to fold on the 2 score lines here. And we're going to add this to... Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can hear that. My daughter is chopping onions with like one of those little Pampered Chef smasher things that makes diced onions, because my husband is not a fan of onions. He likes onion flavor, but he does not like onions in things, and so we always have to puree the heck out of them for him. Okay, so I'm going to add this to the bottom. So the card is flat, and then, yeah. And I'm going to add the glue down there. And then we're going to center this from side to side on that area there. Okay. So this is what we have so far. Nothing's attached. So now you can add some ribbon here. I got to find it. So I thought I'd bring in the fresh freesia. What is this? The sheer fresh freesia, something or other. And I'm going to try, me tying things around cardstock is a struggle for me, but I'm going to do my best. So I'm going to try to tie this in a knot around the top of this thing here. Oh, this might work out pretty good. This ribbon is really actually very easy to use. Some ribbons are harder than others to use, but this one is pretty simple. Ugh, get in there. Oh, that is a complete fail. Okay, hold on. And I'm going to do this only because I feel like it's not going to really show that much. Lisa says the sheriff deserves his minced onions. You're right, he does. Okay, I'm going to cut, you guys can't really see them. I'm going to cut this ribbon in half. And I'm going to use some glue dots. Where are they? So I'm going to put a glue dot on each end of this, because I can kind of hide this underneath my layer here. So I'm going to put a glue dot on each. Oh, wait a second. I didn't cut it off. Oh, Barb, come on. Okay, hold on. I got to cut this. These are not my ribbon scissors, by the way. And then I'm going to put another glue dot on the other end. So now I have 2 glue dots on the ends of this thing. And we're going to make this work. So I'm going to put the knot in the center of my area here after I kind of manipulate this so it looks good. The heck? Okay, so I'm going to put that right in the middle, and then I'm going to bring this piece around. Now remember, there's a glue dot on there. I didn't use tape this time. Normally I use tape, but I feel like the recipient of my card would potentially see the tape, but I don't think they'll see this glue dot under there. And so you can sort of see that I can just attach those two together. And now it's nice and tight. Yay! Okay, where is my good pair of scissors? Here they are right here. So now I'm going to cut this end off. And then I'm going to cut this end off. And yay, we did it. Because you guys know, I am not that good at tying ribbon around cardstock. Why? Who knows? All right, so then we're going to add glue to this top little flap here. You fold it over, flatten your card out, and then just press it down. And that is literally it. And check that out. So now it folds flat for mailing, but yet it will stand up on a desk. Push it forward. There. How cute is that? Not a whole lot to it, and obviously if we didn't have internet problems and ribbon tying problems, this card probably would have taken like 10 minutes really to make. So there it is, super cute. I don't even think it needs a sentiment. If you want, you could put a thing back here. So actually maybe I will. Maybe I will. I've got some scraps here. And if I remember right, this area is 4 by 4 1/4. So let me cut this piece of paper to 4 by 4 1/4. Okay. you know what we can do to it? Let's make sure we're going to get it on there the right way. So it's going to go on here like this. So I feel like we can actually do this same little foliage stuff. We'll ink that up in the Parakeet Party, and then we'll do the same. We'll color the same things a garden green. And then we can just stamp the flowers right over the top rather than like die cutting them. We can just stamp them on there. So we can stamp that. And then we can, I think we'll go with the orchid for the flowers since that's the last color I use and I won't have to clean it off. And then we can just add this. I feel like you can just kind of be pretty random with it. I don't know if you have to be perfect. And then there are some sentiments in here. So we could probably, how about the take care of yourself? That's always a nice thing to say to someone. Oh, I need a block. Hold on, let me get this on a block. And I think we'll stamp this in Freesia. Okay, and I like to stamp things down here at the bottom. I've been really kind of liking this. Why? I don't know. I just find it's just an interesting way to do it. It's just different. And so I kind of stamp it next to my little detail. And then we can just add this to the back. And that's where you can like write a little message if you want. Yeah. And that was pretty simple. Okay, and again, it just lays flat for mailing, and so there you go. All right, card number 2 done. Now, this next project, you guys, is the one that I came down here right before I was going to go live, and I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to do this. So we'll see how it turns out. There's no guarantees it's going to be good. Oh, I forgot to add some gems. Hold on. Hold on. I kind of feel like it needs a tiny bit of bling. Oh, I'm going to have to use my non-existent fingernails here to get some bling. I think I'm going to go with bling. These are the iridescent rhinestones, and I feel like if they're right in the center of these larger flowers, that they'll look pretty cute. Okay, there. Yeah, now we have a little bit of sparkle. Catch the light just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now we're done with that. And the butterflies we didn't use. I just didn't know what I'd want to do, so I just kind of throw some stuff together and, you know. All right, clean all this out of the way. All right. So for our last project, it's going to be a candy holder, and I didn't know how much candy I was going to need, so I have a drawer full of candy. So we're going to use that. We're also going to use these adorable little Peekaboo treat bags. There are crumb cake, or I guess craft. It's not crumb cake, it's craft. There's craft and white bags in here, and they are little Ziploc bags. So you can open them up. I believe they're food safe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they feel like they are because they're kind of lined with that kind of slick stuff. So I'm pretty sure they're food safe. So, I mean, you could put like a made in here if you like made a homemade cookie or something like that. I think you could throw it in here and it'd be fine. All right, so I guess I thought you could get more in here than you can, or than I didn't have any idea. There you go. Oh, come on, get in there. All right, hold on, we're going to do it again. All right, so we're going to put 2 of these in there, and I like the little peekaboo window so you can sort of see what your treat's going to be. And then this little Ziploc thing here, so cute. Okay, now this is like a pretty random thing. I made this card for a swap, and I kind of thought, how cute would that be to make a coordinating bag to match my card? So that was my mindset when I was running down here to get ready, like, 20 minutes before I went live. So I pulled out the same color of papers that I used. I already had a die cut circle. This is from the new Stylish Shapes die set. So I already had this cut. And so I just grabbed my baby boss and we're just going to make a butterfly. So we're going to just copy that. We're going to go with the Calypso Coral body. And then since I already have these taped together, Deb wants to know if my drawer gets raided by more people than me. Yes, my son comes down here and raids my drawer frequently. And a lot of the candy that's in that drawer is like candy I've had for a long time. So it's kind of like, for display purposes only kind of candy. He says he doesn't care and he doesn't believe that. And he says that candy doesn't go bad. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I guess I hope he doesn't get sick. So anyway, I already have these two dies kind of stuck together. You can see with some Post-it tape. Because there's two separate dies, so you can just do an outline or you can do with the detail also. So I'm going to do it with the detail also. Sugar-free. No, most of my candy is not sugar-free. It probably should be, but it's not. I'm not a fan of that. Where's my baby boss? I thought I brought it over here, and now I'm looking around. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to use my baby boss just because it's portable and it fits up here on my desk and all that good stuff. So I'm going to make my little sandwich here. So I've got the plate number 1, one of the number 3 plates. And you can see it when I put it in my machine, I stagger it. So I've got the white plate ahead of my first cutting plate. And I'm going to see if I can do all of these at once. So I'm just going to kind of stick. I think I can if I actually cut this to size. Ooh, that was so close to not being the right size. Okay. And then this. I don't know. This might not work. We'll see. Okay, we've got that. They all look like they're on the plate. And so then this top plate, I'm going to push ahead a little bit. So between my white plate and my other plate, they go together, or they're not together. So that way the machine can grab them. Trish wants to know when we're going to be able to get, I don't know, Trish, the magnetic plate for the baby boss. I don't have any idea. They haven't given us any indication of when that'll be available yet. So, fingers crossed it's quickly. Okay. And I'm just kind of holding this as it's going through so nothing gets shifted. And there we go. Okay. So we've got our body and then we have this wing. And look at that. Those pieces just fall right out. That is just amazing. And then we have this one. So we can just flick out what doesn't come out. And then we can just take our scraps and put them in the trash. Okay. So then all I have to do is just place all these things. And yes, I do believe that the large plate is out until July, which is crazy, which means that everybody's bought it. So, I mean, I don't blame you. It's pretty amazing. I've used it a few times. I kind of got accustomed to not using it. You know, I just use like Post-it tape or whatever. But the other day I was making a bunch of something and I thought, I'm gonna use this because, you know, I have it. And it was amazing. All right, so, oh, I just realized something. I don't have, you know what I'm going to do? Can I get this off? Maybe. I think what I should maybe do, I can't get it off. All right, well, think of something. I kind of feel like I need something that's going to need to be, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just make another body. Okay, hold on. I just figured it out what I'm going to do. Okay, so we have our leaves because I feel like just having the body needs to be on the top. So I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so we need to bring the baby boss back in here and run another body through. All right. So we have our plates and our body, and where is my, oh, here it is. I'm gonna do the same thing, just put the body on there, and I'm gonna stagger my plates again because that's how it works the best for me. And then we'll just have dual bodies on this butterfly. Oops, there we go. Can always fix stuff. If you guys learn anything from me, which you probably already know this, it's how to fix things, how to fix mistakes that you may have made. And I guess I shouldn't say mistakes, but, you know, make adjustments to what you're doing, I guess, because well, it's true. I screw stuff up all the time. There, better. All right. So literally, this is all I was going to do. I was just going to stick this on here and call it like a good little thing. But before I did that, I wanted to add some ribbon to the back. And I need to find that. I just used it. So where did I? Oh, it's up here still. I thought maybe if I did like, you know, the zigzag thing behind, that might be kind of fun. Do something like that. Snip that off. And then I'm a little bit particular. I know a lot of people just whip this out. There's like, oh, we'll just do this real quick and it'll be fine. And I can't. I have to make it, the analness in me comes out and I have to make it perfect. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick it together with some tape because that's just how I roll. And then I think I can do some seal on the back here. And something like that. Snip off the ends. That one's already snipped off. And then I think I'm going to stick this on the bag with some dimensionals. Where are my dimensionals? 2 dimensionals. One at the top, one at the bottom. And where's the bag? And honestly, I think you could just do that. Look at that. How cute is that? Just a simple, quick, little fun treat you could throw on a coworker's desk. You could give it to your mailman, your UPS guy, because you know they're all overworked. Oh, look at what I just found. My take your pick tool. Actually, you know, we need to do one more thing. There's these cute little flowers that kind of match this whole suite of stuff, this butterfly stuff. And I have to tell you guys, shameless plug, this will be my class for the month of June, the butterfly. I think we're just going to throw a couple of these cute little flowers around. Can we stick that right there? And then this little coral one, I don't see why we can't. There. So stinking cute. Okay, let's bring in what we've made today. So we made our cute little matching pouch to go with this card. So cute. And then we also made this fun kind of stand-up card, which I think it might be a little bit front heavy, but it will stand up. So this is a little bit of a fun fold, and it's a super simple fun fold that does lay flat for mailing, which is awesome. And then we have this adorable little card with the sweet Songbirds, which is my class for the month. Now, if you guys are Stamp Happy Academy members, good Lord, excuse me. I just uploaded the PDF file to this class on the site today. So you can go to the Stamp Happy Academy website. If you're on a computer, click on the Stamp Happy Academy classes, or not click on it, hover over it, and then click class PDFs, and you'll be able to get this. If you're on a device like an iPad or a phone, go to stamphappyacademy.ning.com, and then off to the side of your device will be like 3 little lines. Click on that, and then click on classes, and then you can find it that way. So just loaded it up there today, so I hope you guys enjoyed. It is super cute. And thank you guys for joining me. Thank all of you so much who gave me a tip. I appreciate that, you guys. And I guess maybe we'll see if we have any shenanigans the next time I'm live, which will be 2 weeks from today, because next week I'll be in St. George, so I won't be live next week, but I'll be live the week after that. And I guess I should let you know the last chance list just came out. I'm going to be posting that on my blog here, hopefully tomorrow. And there are some nice discounts for the January to June mini catalog. And then we do have a kit special coming up next month. It's a buy one, get one half off of our kits collection. You can find those on the online store. I think they have their own tab in there. So check that out. That's coming up next month. And I guess that's it. So thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate it so much. And I will see you in a couple of weeks, guys. Bye-bye.